AndrewKaiser.com. Today we are going to be looking at slicing a PSD layout in Photoshop and getting everything ready to give to the coder to either code it up or for you to code. Let's go ahead and take a look at our design. Now, first thing we'll see is that it's very clean, very nice looking, and very soft. Okay, there's not a lot of gradients either, so it'll be a lot of very few images. I see one, two, just a few. Anyways, okay, so let's get right into it. Come up here and select our slice tool, and we're gonna click and drag. We're gonna start top left to bottom right. So we'll start off with the logo. Now, it's important to make sure that you optimize your slices, and what that means is basically just making them the bare minimum of what they have to be. So the pixel that it should end is the pixel where the image ends is where it should end. So as you can see right here, the furthest right pixel of this image is right where the slice gets cut, and that that reduces image size, and which reduces bandwidth usage and all that good jazz. So let's go ahead and trim this up real quick to the bottom of the G. We'll make sure that no other sides of this needs to come over right up to the eye. And if I remember correctly, the eye should be the tallest point in the image. There might be a T. That doesn't breach it. Right there, yeah, okay. So, right there, there's our first little slice. Well done. Bare minimum. Next step that we're going to do is we're going to take a look at this nav background. We're going to see if this has any kind of gradient. And we're going to simply open up the color dropper. We're going to pay attention to this right here. Okay, so we're going to check the top. That's going to be DOD EB9. And we're going to come down here and check the bottom. Same number. Okay, so that's a flat background image. We don't need to slice it. Let's go ahead and go down here. Now I can already see a fade on each of these sides, so we're going to have to work with here. So let's go ahead and get rid of all this text and this button down here. We can go ahead and close that, or hide that, I guess you could say. And let's see what we got going on here. There's a slight little overlap right there. Not really sure what that's about. Let's go ahead and fix that if we can. This is the bedroom picture. We're going to move this over. 2 pixels might be too much. You need to make sure to not mess up the design. Yeah, okay. We're going to want 1. And we'll go back over here and we're going to delete this small little line. You can do that real simple with the single column marquee tool. Just go ahead and select that, make sure you're on the image, and delete. Now when we zoom out, whoa, as you can see, it's going to be a lot cleaner cut. So let's go ahead and grab our slice tool again, drag from the top left to bottom right, zoom in nice and close, make sure we got it all. Okay, you want to make sure to leave the border out of this, so that way if we ever want to change colors or change the border, we don't have to edit any images. So as you can see, we have a left border and a bottom border, no top border, and we have a right border. I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a slight gray. Now let's see, this is white. FB, so very close, very faint. Okay, so next step is we're going to come down here Once again, we're going to check to see if we have any gradients. E7 double EDC, E7 double EDC. Okay, again, we're checking right here to see the hexadecimal value of the color. And there's no background, so we'll leave that all to CSS. Let's go ahead and slice one of these images out. We'll just go ahead and grab this guy right here. Top left, bottom right. And we'll zoom in, select our crop tool, our slice tool. We'll make sure that everything's nice and tight, right on where it should be. That looks good. Okay. Let's grab these 4 images. I don't see any fades on this. Now there's borders on this again. Like I said earlier, you want to avoid capturing those because that should be left up to CSS. Now, okay, so we'll make sure that all 4 of these look good. This is probably the most tedious part, is not so much slicing it, but making sure everything's all pixel perfect. I'm gonna speed this up a little bit here so you can see how a little more efficient goes when I'm not trying to explain everything. What I'll do is I'll do a broad spectrum of all the slices, and then I'll zoom in just really quickly, come up here. If you use the slice select tool, you can change between slices really fast, and you can adjust that. So now I have all these corners all set. So now I can just go over to this side. Scrolling this zoomed in is a real pain, if you couldn't just tell by what I just did. Zoom out again. Select it. So the bottom left is done, the top left is done, bottom right is done. Just double check that. And now all we got to do is do the top right, which is done. Okay. Perfect. So we got our 4 images, our kitchen, our bathroom, our living room, and our, I don't know, our bedroom. I guess that could be the bedroom. A few more images down here. Let's go ahead and grab this mailing list. We'll do a, zoom out just a little bit. Broad spectrum. First thing I see right here is this is the highest point of the image, so we want to just go ahead and drop that down. We're going to grab this side and we want to take it to right there. There is a little shade right here, and that still encloses the rest of the image. There's nothing below that bar, so we'll move that up. And this far left all the way over here is going to be, yeah, okay. So that looks good. Now, let's see if there's a gradient on this. I'm gonna go ahead and check F1, F3, and F2 down here to, oh yeah. So we got some slight change going on. So we are definitely gonna need to focus in on this for a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in real close here, and we'll open up our eyedropper again. We're gonna F5, pay attention down here. So these two are the same, but this is when it changes right here. So we want these 2 pixels to be their own slice, because those are the color changing ones. So we're going to drag and drop that.